Hey, hello, and welcome to my demo for the virtual cloud computing assignment number three. So, in this video, I'll demonstrate on how to monitor usage of a local VM and configure auto scaling to GCP when the resource usage is like exceeds 70%. Basically, you can configure that. So, let's get started. Okay, so if you can see here, uh, yeah, you can see if you see, I have already opened a virtual box where I had like in my previous assignment, for assignment I believe assignment number one, I've already set up the VMs over here using in the virtual box. So basically we will be going with the VM which is running basically this one with the Ubuntu server. I have allocated two CPUs, 4 GB of RAM and 20 GB of the disk space. If you'd like to see how I created the VM, you can refer to the link provided in the description for the assignment one where you can where I have detailed manner I have explained how to basically create a set up a VM in the local virtual box. Okay, so for this demonstration purpose, I'll be using the existing running VM and I will demonstrate. Okay, so first, this is the running one, which is basically this one. Okay, so let me go here. Okay, so so basically, I'll just show you what and all files I have. So with this is my repo called as auto scaling local VM to local VM to GCP, which contains files like your app.py, your monitor.py, and your requirement.txt. Basically, app.py is an application. It's like a pseudo application that I'll be running, where which it will print the some message, local message that hi, my local VM is running. You can customize it as you want. And I have, if you see, I have here monitor.py. So basically, monitor.py is a script that I have written within not a script, it's a Python script. Basically, it's going to monitor the computing usages of the CPU based on which there is threshold that I've kept. That if it exceeds to 75%, then it has to deploy onto the GCP. It will create a, like, if I can show you, uh, let's see, I'll show you here. See. The script says that it's gonna monitor validate whether the CPU threshold is 75. If none threshold is 75, then it's gonna monitor you with the help of library called as PSUtil, which helps to monitor your process and the system OS usages and all. So using that, will be monitoring all the CPU and memory. So if either of the CPU or memory exceeds 75%, we're gonna create another instances onto the Google Cloud compute engine. Okay, so to do so, we are using subprocess, which is gonna, if you see the subprocess command, we are dot run. It is gonna, we have mentioned the command batch script that is gonna execute basically GC Cloud Compute Instance create Cloud VM. So basically, Cloud VM is the instance name that we have given. Okay. So if within that, if you see the metadata, that is a very critical part where you have to specify the scripting that you have to do. Basically, for demo purpose, I've just added one Python script over there. But if it's an application, then we can customize more and we can give the paths and stuff. Okay. So here in the script, we have mentioned that my startup script will be a bash and it will performing like a OS update and we not basically OS update, kernel updates and they install the Python 3 pip. Basically, when our instance is created, at that time GCP will be a GCP instance will be a fresh instance. Nothing will be there. It won't contain anything. So we have to install all the prerequisite your libraries and all. If any external libraries we are using. So for that, if you can see, we have the requirement.txt file. You can pass that in over here in this script, and then that it can run install it. Okay, so for now, what we have done is that I've passed that apt command, apt update and install Python. Then I have said that pip3 install Flask because as we're gonna create a your web applications, we need a Flask for that to create an endpoint and to run it on the particular your host and local host and the port. So if you can see, I've just done app.run host and port. Okay, so this is a pretty simple script. My monitor.py. Whole intention to you to just show is how we are monitoring the usages. Okay, then let's first. So let me run this file. So I'll go with nohub. Nohub. I'll use nohub. Nohub. Then my command Python 3.11. My app.py, and that goes output. I'll say app output dot log, and okay. Just so basically this particular command, it's at the what do you call your at the backend, it's keep on running at the at the hindsight. Okay, in the headless manner. Okay, just to validate, if you want to see, I'll show you once. You can use this command, okay, where it shows the process that it is running. If you see 1640, the first line, this one, yeah, it means that is running. So in the same manner, let's run monitor, monitor, monitor. And here let's give monitor.py because that is the particular command that is gonna validate. Okay, same way here if you want to validate monitor.py. Okay, 1643. Okay, now this here now after our application is running. Now if I want to just show you the GCP, this is basically this is my GCP. Okay, the same over 7.2 project I'm using autoscale guard VM. In this first we have to how my now VM and this GCP is gonna link. Okay, basically my application should know okay which particular GCP cloud I have to point to. So my in the GCP I have to set up basically if you go to Google Cloud G Cloud CLI remote login, I think no, not this one. We can do Google Cloud CLI downloads. Okay, here you'll get the documentation that is pretty clear, that is pretty smooth, I would believe. Based on your OS type, you can go, I have selected Debian Ubuntu, then I have performed the certain actions that I didn't mention that sudo API update, and this is very critical, this is very important. You have to install this, you have to use API and transport HTTPs, then only you can download the public key. Apart from if you miss this step and you try to download, it won't download. So you have to be pretty cautious on that. Okay. Then moving on, you have to use this echo command where it is going to add to your keyring from where how you can download your Google Cloud SDK. Then you have to use Google Cloud CLI that that will install the Google Cloud CLI command line into your terminal. Once you have done this, come back to your project, go to this hamburger icon. Okay. Now here comes a very critical part. How our VM will come to know, CLI will come to know which Google you have to point it, correct? So you have to go to service account here. Okay. Then you have to create a new service account over here. I'll just show the existing one that I've done it. Basically, yeah, this one. Yes, this one, basically. Yeah. Here, what I have done, I've selected this and then I'll show you, wait, permission. Wait, I'll just straight away create one and just show you to you. Give some random names. Okay, let's say I can auto scale VM to VM. Okay, then create and continue. You can do it, and then moving on. This is very critical role that you have to assign. You can use here. Sorry, no, I don't have to put custom. Uh, Sorry, my bad. Compute engine. Okay, here it will show as compute admin. Okay, that means it will give you the full control to your particular compute engine resources because that is this is very critical. This role we want that so that our application can create. We have to click on continue and then done. Okay, and then done. Once you click on done, it will create your what do you call your service account. It's like similar to this. Okay, then you have to go inside here, three action, manage keys, and then create a key. Okay, this is a JSON file. That is your key file that you have to attach to your CLI. How you can do that? Even that is mentioned over here. No, yeah, you can. Wait, yeah, you have to use this command, Google init, Google Cloud init, where it is gonna give you some URL that you have to authenticate. That is one option. Apart from that, what you can do is, I have executed a command over here. Just let me quickly show to you. Yeah, here. So this is the particular command Google auth activate service account. This is the particular file, JSON file that you have to pass. Once you have done this, hit enter. It will automatically authenticate. Then you have to execute this command, Google Cloud set project. This is project name. This you can get it from here, particular the this thing. If you go to your project, okay, here if you click it, you can get a project name basically from here. Okay, that's not a concern. Okay, now once you have done that, okay, now your application is running, everything is running. Now let's validate. Now let's go and see whether our auto scaling is happening or not. Okay, because first thing my application is linked. Second thing my GCP account I have linked to me with my our application. Okay, now third we have to validate test it basically whether it's happening or not. So first I'll show my instance compute in this thing instance whether any cloud VM instance is there or not. Okay, so this is my instance VM instances. Now I'll go and add some stress onto my particular application so that it can I can validate whether my VM is getting created or not. Okay, how can I add a stress? So there is a library called as stress ng. You can install it in Ubuntu, and then you can pass this particular properties, and that added a stress to your VM. Okay, in the virtual box. Now this is gonna add a stress to that. So I'll refresh here. As soon as my CPU utilization exceeds to 75%, right, you'll notice that, okay, my VM is automatically created. Okay, so let me just refresh it again. Just let's me check here. Okay, so this is now currently it's adding a stress onto my local VM. The utilization is trying to exceed to 75%. Okay, let me refresh it again. I think it's still the stress is not mm, like it's still its utilization is not happened till 75%. Let's wait for a couple of more minutes. I think let's restart like this way. Refresh it. Hmm. So let me try again. Okay. Yeah. So you see, once the stress came, it started creating. Okay. So this is the if you see the script. Okay. I had said it's a cloud hyphen VM. So it created the VM. Okay. This is the VM it created. So the application that was running in app.py, it will be running into this. Okay. If you want to check it, then you can do SSH, and then it can show you all the information in your terminal. Okay. So, so this is how you create a auto scaling local VM to cloud. Okay. So, so I hope you like my video. Okay, so basically in this, just to summarize, in this demo, we just successfully monitored resource utilizations, how the resource usage on a local VM is monitored, and it is configured to auto scale to GCP. So basically, what we did, we deployed our Flask application, which automatically deploys onto the GCP when the utilization of the local VM exceeds to 75. So I hope you like my video. So please, thank you. That's it. Cheers.